Well forward back to Newsbug TV. Well forward back to the channel. If first time viewing, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Also, we do so keep the notifications on so you can get the latest videos as soon as they upload. This is a Newsbug TV presentation, and on the agenda we have none other than Elaine Thompson and Briana Williams. So we saw what Elaine Thompson done of recent, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Briana Williams also being an ambassador. You understand me? So we're talking about on and off the field about these athletes. You understand me? And a lot of these athletes have a short span. Some athletes, have longevity in the sport, so to speak. So, we have to highlight that Briana Williams also play her part. We are contributing to the hurricane victims. You understand me? She was in the street, doing the road. You understand me? And representing as a public figure. So we must, respect that and know, say, yeah, she's been a good ambassador also for some other brandings, as we know. So we say big up to Briana for that. And also we're highlighting the fact that all artists need to prepare themselves professionally for international athletic meets. They have their own physiotherapy, different training routines, programs, hard work, a lot of determination, a lot of hard work put in beneath the scenes where a lot of people don't really see the preparations. So then, it's very important that at least artists get the proper professional treatment, and so on. You understand me? So it's not an easy game. People think it's easy. It's not easy. Some people need sponsors. Them can't get any sponsors. Some people want sponsors. They can't get sponsors. So it just depends on your performance why you really get sponsored. So, we can't just get sponsored because we want to be sponsored. We get sponsored because of the performance.
Hey guys, so today we're getting my girl Briana ready for her first outdoors meet, y'all. She is running the 150 and I am so excited to see her run in person. As you can see, I was doing a lot of quick strokes and focusing on the main muscle groups needed when sprinting. Next, I released her psoas, which is very important for sprinters because it increases their stride length and they can cover more ground faster. And lastly, we did some muscle activation and a little bit of PNF stretching just to make sure that her muscles were awake and firing properly. She warmed up immediately after, and then it was time for her race, and she did amazing, guys.
And that's what I would have said attract the big elite companies to sponsor you, whether it be Nike, Adidas, Puma, or one of those things. It's a rough sport. It's not easy. You have to be performing. You have to be turning out reasonable times, so people turn up on time for training and all of that. So we just want people to just understand that part. So we're talking about Ronaldo Walcott. So she's back with Walcott and she's training. Some of us say, boy, respect to him. Because the work put in. We don't know how long since she has been training. But according to the performance what we're seeing that she's made a lot of improvement for someone who's been off of the track for a while. We're not going to expect that she'll go medal or this or that. We're just hoping for the best. And if she get to be fine-tuned by around the time when the big race them start, then probably she can medal. Hopefully, she's back in a big way. Even though we know that she will get better as times go on, and it's very exciting to see that Jamaica have Elaine Thompson representing, and she seems to be almost back in shape. What shape she is in at the moment is kind of difficult for people to assess, but as far as what we see where the time is concerned, she is not that far off. And she didn't look like she was struggling. So therefore, I figure like over several months, it will be interesting to see the performance of Elaine Thompson. So you know what I mean. We welcome her back, and you know, she seemed to have a short career, you know, a short highlight. Not when it's a short.
Hey guys, come to do my hair with me to go to the last wedding. Yeah, that's me. I don't know, say I went to the baddest, put on down plus sweet, yeah, and she angle and triangle my ear. Yeah. So girlies, when I talk about a match or something, you know, it tastes good enough, it tastes like dirt. Hi guys, welcome back. So I'm doing a makeup video on my friend face. So come along with me doing this makeup. So I'm here doing my bestie makeup. I'm not really a fan of doing somebody's makeup, but that's that try a thing. I told one big piece of makeup artist, yeah. Somebody I do everything that I know that I can do to myself. So me apply that to she, yeah.
So now everybody was really quite surprised by the time Elaine Thompson run. You know what I mean? We know it's sending a statement and also sending shockwaves right through the sport. But however, a lot of people, you know what I mean, was rooting for Elaine to forward back now and regain our position as a true champion. You understand me? One of the fastest athletes of all time. There was a time when it was said that she was injured. There was a time when I was saying she should work it out with Frano, with Stephen Francis, but it's easily said than done. And what happened between she and the coach, even though she was injured at the time, I think that they didn't come to an agreement. You know, as I always thought that going back to the coach or having a professional coach would be the good thing, or get the best coach that we could have ever advise or to have. You understand me? In my opinion, I did so at that time. You understand me? Where they recommended Steve Frank. So, you know, time work out, and now she's with a professional coach, a coach who she did start out with in her early days. Comparing to Shelley and Favor Price, you know, we would like to see Elaine Thompson dominate for some time as just as a pocket rocket. You see what I'm saying? But you don't know pocket rocket thing different. But however, Elaine I represent, and she represent in a big way. And you know, I'm really happy to really see her back. You know what I mean? For someone who actually run one of the fastest time ever in history. It was very remarkable, and you know, someone who people will never stop talking about the likes of Elaine Thompson. So, you know, I mean, my respect that she actually determined, she kept herself fit, even though she probably wasn't racing professionally, she did keep herself fit, and you can see that from the races she's running, you can see that she probably wasn't not professionally race fit, but she was fit in somewhat to train to bring herself to where she is presently. So, you know what I mean? We say thumbs up for that. And, you know, I can see the determination. And in the time when she was going through the bad times, you know, and people were rooting for her, people think that, oh, you're not rooting for her because you want him and she has fun to get back. But it's only a professional suggestion that professional training is good. So one of the times she was trained by her husband and all of that, and as far as we know, we don't think that worked out 100% as how she would have liked, you know. So however, now she has professional training. So, but we still give respect to her husband, who at least helped keep her fit over some period of time. So she wasn't like she never did really that fit. So I mean, you still have to respect that, because she could have give up and she never. And you know what I mean, it surprised a lot of people to know that she's back in training and doing decent times. You know what I mean? And that is the shocking thing about the whole thing. A lot of people are really surprised and frightened about the whole of that. So, people, they say I'm gonna wrap it up and pack it up. Newsbug TV, exit the building until the next update.